Barcode Factory is a leading supplier of everything you need for thermal labeling. We hope you enjoy our videos and visit us at barcodefactory.com.
Today we're going to review media loading instructions for the Toshiba BEX4-T1 printer. The T1 is the near-edge version of the Toshiba BEX4 series printer. The BEX4-T is Toshiba's industrial printer. It offers print speeds of up to 14 inches per second at 305 dpi print quality. The near-edge version of the printer allows for a wider range of material types to be printed on at very high print speeds with very good print quality. Today we're going to review how to properly load the printer. To begin loading the printer, you're going to want to first release the locking plate to the free position. You'll then want to remove the label guide and lift the printhead assembly to the up position. In the up position, the printhead assembly will lock to allow you clearance to load the label and ribbon. We're going to then apply the roll of labels. Today we're using wound out labels. The printer will accept both wound out and wound in labels. Everything on the near edge version of this printer is center justified, as opposed to a traditional thermal transfer printer where everything is left justified. So you'll notice when you apply the locking mechanism for the labels, it will move the roll naturally to the center, which is what it should do. You'll then want to turn it clockwise to lock the guide in place. You'll then want to take your roll, wind it around the media dampener, then you're going to go straight down in between the media guide, which is located here, and again you can move this to the out position to help you properly load those, and then across and throughout the front. The nice thing about this unit is that it has a very flat loading path, so there's not anything that you have to go under or above. Once you have the labels in the proper position, you will want to move the guide back again towards the middle, just so it's barely touching the liner of the label. And then there's a white locking button underneath here that you'll again turn clockwise until it's locked in place. To load the printer's ribbon, there are a few things that you'll have to do. The first thing is that you want to check the width of your ribbon. Again, with this tech printer being center justified, you can use a variety of width of ribbons. If your ribbon is a narrower ribbon, say a 3-inch wide or 2.5-inch wide, you will need to adjust the position of the media hubs. These hubs move in or out, and that will affect how the ribbon rests so that it will line up through the middle of the print cycle as the ribbon passes through the feed path. Today we're using a 4-inch wide ribbon, so you have very minimal adjustment with that. Now the Toshiba has a standard take-up spindle, which you'll slide onto the front. Most new ribbons will include this spindle. If the spindle is not included with your new ribbon, you can simply use the old spindle, which will be empty when you're changing ribbon, and move that to the front. You'll then take your new ribbon, which should have a little bit of adhesive on the ribbon liner. You'll slide that into position onto the spindle. And the most important thing you're going to want to note is that you have these two separate assemblies. The first assembly has a dampener for the labels and the label sensor, which is located in the middle. The ribbon should not come into this portion. You want to load it through the next assembly forward, which is actually where the location of the print head is. So you'll simply take that ribbon and you'll bring it underneath the path, up, and you'll then apply it to that cardboard take-up core. You can then move the print head assembly to the down position, not so that it's locked all the way, but just down, and make several rotations on that ribbon so that you can get a little bit of tension in there until you have the actual ribbon into the feed path of the printer. Now once you've done that, you're pretty much finished. You just simply push this the rest of the way down. You'll lift the locking plate up. The locking plate has a number of cutouts there, one for both the ribbon supply and the ribbon take-up, and then it has a locking position down below here. And you'll notice that there are two settings. There's one for label and one for tag. As I mentioned before, because this is a near-edge printer, it does print on a wide variety of label materials. It's especially good for tags, and sometimes you'll need additional pressure when printing a tag. Today we're printing a 4x6 label, so we're simply going to lock that down to the first position. Once that's locked down in place, the printer is paused for our presentation. We'll unpause the printer. The printer will then feed a couple blanks. It will automatically do a label calibration to configure the size of label that's within the printer. And once it's finished with that, if you have a pending print job, that print job will begin to print.
The Toshiba BEX4-T1, along with labels, ribbons, and service, can be purchased at barcodefactory.com. To learn more about thermal barcode printers and custom labeling, call us at 888-237-8525.